All right. Hi, everyone, and thank you for attending the Kuumba Kickback. Welcome to this live episode of Things We Imagine. Things We Imagine is a YouTube series powered by Black Girls Create and For All Nerds, hosted by Porshèa Patterson-Hurst and Bayana Davis, exploring BIPOC fantasy in books, movie, TV, fashion, comics, music, and more.
Today, we're doing a special episode for Kuumba Kickback, of course, where we want to celebrate with you about some of our favorite fictional baddies. Because if there's anything that Bayana and I are qualified to talk about, it's fictional baddies.
Fictional baddies. That's right. That's actually, you know what? Yes. I didn't think about it that way when we made this decision, but it's true.
I mean, I just like what do we obsess over? How do we talk about who we love? Like it's fictional baddies, and it's like across genre. Like one thing that things we imagine we really try to do on our channel is talk about like all the different genres or mediums in which you can like interact with fictional characters, whether that's like art or music, etc. So I feel like this is the best possible way to like show a little insight into like how much we want to celebrate these cool creations out of people's minds. A lot of times out of like, sadly, because of like how art works, a lot of white people's brains, but it's changing. Mm-hmm. We're seeing a bit more creations from like Black and Indigenous people of color pop up, and we're hopefully highlighting some of those as well.
Yeah. So I do also want to say, as we were like making this, I was like noticing a pattern. I didn't when we like thought of the people, I didn't think about it, and then as we were like pulling this together, I was like, oh, okay, Bayana, you like a very specific type of person, and that's fine. We'll get into it.
we'll get there. This is a process. We're all learning.
Yeah.
All right. So without further ado, Things We Imagine presents and celebrates fictional baddies. First up, animated baddies.
Yes.
So also like we want this to be interactive as much as possible. So people, if y'all have animated baddies that you don't see up here that you want to shout out to, we can talk about them as we're going through each section. We'll like have different baddies and different things, and so we definitely want to hear about your baddies that you also are into, because this is just a celebration. We just want to talk. We just want to have fun with it.
Yes.
Do you want to start on? Well, you only have one baddie here. Do you want me to go? Like, I don't want to over talk my baddies.
No, you're good. I can go first. It's fine. It's the beginning of the pattern. So Azula, love her. It's really funny because when I was a kid and Avatar: The Last Airbender was out, like I didn't watch it all the way. It was back before the days of like binging, and if I missed an episode, I might have just missed that episode. I maybe recorded it, but I could have missed it. You only had like, how many recorded things did you have on the DVR? Like 4, maybe. It might have been less than that at the time. So I didn't appreciate her as much as a kid as I did like rewatching as an adult. And it's like the perfectionism. I don't know. I love her. She just is like, I'm gonna do this thing. She's very much an Enneagram 1. Like I'm just like, she's on the bad side. I wish we had gotten like a redemption for her. I have heard that was in the plan.
Like the comics supposedly have like a little bit of something.
Yeah, and I haven't read the comics, and I likely won't, honestly. But yeah, I love her. She's great.
So I'm gonna go chronological order for the baddies because this makes sense to me. So the first baddie, of course, for me to talk about is Jodie Landon from Daria. So fun fact, even though I was an MTV kid, like in the early thousands, late 90s, I definitely just did not get into Daria because something about like the animation style similar to that of Beavis and Butthead. Did not care for Beavis and Butthead. Was not going to watch a show that had similar stuff. Left it alone. And then more recently, Daria, like from the past couple of years, Daria ended up on Hulu, and I was talking to Darren,
I was like,
yes,
I was like,
and Darren was like, I don't know how we ended up on the topic of like me not watching Daria. He's like, but you seem like you would like Daria because y'all have similar traits. And I was like, excuse you? And then I watched it and I was like, oh, okay. Like some things, not every, like Daria and I have like a few things in common, but like more than not, I have more in common with Jodie, who honestly, from the bat, I was like, oh no, is she gonna be like a tragic token black girl in the show? And then you see like who, like she's not, and it's like some of the best things that you can like. I feel like out of the characters that we got in the like late 90s, early thousands, I'm so surprised that I didn't like interact with this character because there's so much that she's given that I did not see in other media that was out at that time. So really love that she's in there. I am forever gonna stand Avatar Kyoshi. I don't care what she does. I don't care who she's with. I'm going to love Avatar Kyoshi. You're not going to stop loving Avatar Kyoshi. People like will say, so if I've mentioned Kyoshi before, like, I mean, okay, but like I mentioned Kyoshi before on Twitter outside of my username. And some person like interacted with me and was like, oh, you mean the Kyoshi Warriors? I was like, no, I mean Avatar Kyoshi, like the actual Kyoshi. And having read the book series that came out that they have, like it's a YA book series by FCE, it is such a good series. They do like air stepping, but it's actually using earth to air step, and it's amazing. It's the first time you hear about it. And like Kyoshi and like all the adventures she goes on, like you see her in Avatar The Last Airbender as someone who's like just kind of like stayed and very like to the point with like Aang, but like she's that way because she has to be. Like you see that from like what the previous Avatar gave her to work with, but also like when in the book series you see what she goes through and you're like, okay, she's not just like, yo, these other people effed up, so I gotta come through. She's literally like, I look around me and I see F boys, and now I got to figure out the like, how are we going to work this out? And so she has friends that help her figure the things out, and so you see more dynamic to her personality, and it's amazing. Highly recommend the books. And then the final one is one that's like a shout out to like Amani and Robin, even though they probably don't watch the series. Is Ensign Mariner. She is the daughter of the captain of the Cerritos in the animated series of like Star Trek Lower Decks. And I never cared about Star Trek before. I know it's I'm sorry. Also, Tatiana, I'm sorry. But like, and I don't know what it is about this animated series, but it was really interesting to me, and I've been watching it and enjoying it. And she's one of those like she's got to be a Gryffindor. Like, there's no other way she's any other house if I was going to personify her. She just like jumps on stuff and she does it. Like, oh, like there's aliens who no one else can understand, but they seem like they need help farming. Okay, I'm just going to give them this equipment. Oh, you're supposed to sign it out. Nah, don't worry about it. I'm going to just give it to them. Like, she just jumps into things. It's amazing. Like, we would not be friends. Like I would be like, you do too much wild stuff. I can't, like, my brain can't handle it. We can't be friends. But I enjoy watching her. It's very enjoyable to me. So I love watching it. And so that is like, this is a good entertainment source for me, Mariner. And she just like, she never like backs down. She's gonna always be her. So when it came to like pulling together the baddie bona fides, I wanted to make sure that like we get into the fact that like she does a lot of stuff, knowing that she could rank up over time if she actually like committed herself to it, but she refuses to because she knows that a lot of the like hypocrisy that the commanders and stuff have around like how the system works, and she doesn't want to be that kind of person. So she'd rather point out the hypocrisy than like to live it, even though like a lot of this, some of her reasoning is not that great, but that point makes her a baddie to me. And so I'm really there for it. Okay, DJ's over here saying she go. Okay.
Yes. I just thought I was like, yes. Oh, love Shigo.
Shigo is amazing.
Yeah, for Azula, again, the patterns. She's so efficient and she is gonna get the job done. She may not do it in the way that you particularly like, you know what I mean? Like, she might, shoot Aang out of the sky. Maybe we don't want that, but she got the job done. You know what I'm saying? Like she was gonna kill the Avatar. If Katara didn't have that thing on her, she would have done what she needed to do. Is all I'm saying.
Woo! Yeah, if she had been in Zuko's place, the show would be a whole different
It would be a
story.
whole other thing. It'd be over already. The Avatar would have been captured.
Sorry for this, Aang. I love Aang.
And I love Zuko, and I love Aang, but I'm just,
We know what would happen. We know.
just calling a thing a thing.
Gonna say it. Jodie, I also like again another reason why I'm a little sad that I didn't watch it at the time. Whenever it was on air, was that like I was living in Tennessee, which is predominantly white, and Jodie Landon is like really good at being like the black girl who is not gonna let like all the whiteness around her keep her from saying whatever she needs to say to speak out on what it needs to be spoken on. And like she was so annoyed by all the white folks just being like, oh, like naturally assuming that she's gonna like be dating the black football player that they happen to show in the show, whatever. I mean, yes, but yes they do, but also like, don't you do it? Like, don't do it. Right. And anytime I like there's an episode with her parents and Daria's parents meet, and I love that, like, you can see how she got that from her mom, and then also how her dad kind of weighs in on it. Like, it's just such a good. I really like appreciated that the writers at least have had a relationship with black people before to know enough to write that into the show for her, because it was very clear that like you don't F with Jodie Landon and like expect for you to walk away without being spoke upon if you try to say something about her blackness, because you will be. It will come back to you. Don't do it. Mm-hmm. And that's something that would definitely have like benefited me as someone who was more likely to be kind of like quiet or side-eye you rather than like say something to you at the time. So really enjoyed that about Jodie. And then Kyoshi, again, I will never not have good words for Kyoshi. My main thing with her is that she expects others to own their BS because she owns hers. And that's one of the best character traits. Like, I love that for any person. If you're this type of person, I probably F with you heavy, because it's hard to like see your own stuff and be like, yeah, I just effed up there, or like, I was really crappy for that, that's my bad, or whatever. And she does that, and she doesn't just like come out of her way and come at other people for their wrongdoings because she wants to like scapegoat them. Like, she like will literally be like, you have to do what you have to do. I had to do what I had to do. That you have to do what you have to do. We're in this same boat. Just do it. So Aang, little baby,
murk him.
Pull it together. No one's gonna come and help and save you at the last minute, Aang. We're not sorry. It's not sorry. Okay, you were the Avatar. You're 112 years old. Pull it together. So, I love that. And I'm gonna always love that. And that's why I made her my quote here, because this is iconic. From Avatar Kyoshi. I have this shirt. Only justice will bring peace. I feel like owning your crap is behind being part of justice and owning and making justice happen. And so Avatar Kyoshi is my baddie of animation, and forever may she rise. Love Kyoshi. On to the next suit of baddies, which are book baddies.
Yes, we have lots of book baddies. So the first one is Chiamaka Adebayo from Ace of Spades, which, first of all, terrified me, but I really loved her. She's been the whole so this book, Ace of Spades, it's a YA thriller in which there's two black kids at this like predominantly white school, and they end up being stalked and harassed by this like mysterious figure called Aces. And I want to just say I played myself in reading this book. It's really good. It's honestly one of the, like my favorite books that I read this year, but it's also terrifying, and I'm scary. I am a little baby, and for some reason I read this book forgetting that I am that way. But Chiamaka is so dope. Like, she is like, all of this stuff like that's going on with her, it becomes pretty clear that like she and the other character Devon, they both like it's like dealing with racism, both like microaggressions and just like outright at this school. And she doesn't ever let that like take away from her sense of self-worth. Like she's terrified because the things that's going on are like scary, and you know what I mean,
life
like
or death.
yeah, like it's serious, but she doesn't ever take that and think that it is some kind of reflection on her. And so I really love her for like, I love that. I love her as a character. Yeah.
For me, so forgive me because my brain is all over the place. So remembering all of the character names really is a feat for me. But for this character, I came upon this character in Light from the Uncommon Stars, which this is, I guess, a plug for Plot Thickens because I did review it there. I really enjoyed this book. And one of the main POV characters is this, like, she's not a demon.
Maybe a little bit.
She has a contract with Satan, basically. Her name is Shizuka Satomi, and she is like, so what had happened is that she is like this violin virtuoso in, like, I guess, like from the setting of this book, probably like in the 70s or so. She was this violin virtuoso, and she is really great, world renowned, all these things. And she decides that she's going to she has it all, but she wants more. And how can she guarantee more? It's by signing a contract with the devil. Again, I mean, this is probably a character. This is might be a pattern we might be seeing for me as well. Like we can do more. There's always more. More can always be done. And so she was on such that level that she was like, okay, well, I got a world famous, boom boom, but I just want to like be immortalized, like literally immortalized. And so she ends up signing this deal with the devil, where if she trains 7 students to go to hell in her place over, I think it's like 20 or 30 years, then she will be absolved from having to go, and then she will also just be infamous as well. So she is, by the time this book starts, she's infamous. She hasn't been heard of for a couple of years. She's gone dormant. And I say couple, probably like 10. And each of her students has been known for, like, she'll pick a talented student, and then she'll get them and she'll teach them, and then they'll peak within a year and then die mysteriously. And as well as if anyone crosses her, like, you will die. So like there's rumors that like, oh, someone stepped on her toe and then they died like 5 hours later. Like it's literally like that level. And so I love that so much for her. She's also like, she takes this, one of the other main characters from the story is a young trans Asian, I think Filipina woman, and she is going through hard times, like the worst of the struggle bus of like being queer, being trans, and she takes her under her wing for no reason except for that she loves the talent radiating from them, and she wants to like be able to like cultivate it and bring it into like their own like usage and be able to like grow from that. And the way that she sticks up for her is amazing. Also, she like, you can see her like having to learn. Also, Suzuka is also queer, so she ends up dating an alien who is like, it's just amazing. Like I don't know how else to explain this. It's a lot, but it's amazing, and I just cannot rave about this book more. But the favorite character from this book was her, and I just need you to read it. I don't know else how to explain it. Like it's one of my favorite books of this year.
In the comments, Mel says Bree from Legendborn, Tari Sai from Raybearer, and Sophia from Cinderella is dead. Constance from Cinderella is dead. Also,
it's okay. I liked.
I would say is a baddie.
Yeah, they're baddies. They're baddies. They're definitely baddies.
Yeah, and then okay, my next one, Juliet from these violent delights. Um, so I think what I might have written it in the next
Yeah,
slide.
I mean, we can just
Like,
talk about like who she is if you want.
yeah, she's so these violent delights is a Romeo and Juliet like retelling sort of, but it also there's like it's set in the 1920s in Shanghai. Um and there are also like monsters. There's like a lot going on. And Juliet is the heir of like her family's empire. Um and then she has like, you know, uh history, I guess is the word, with Roma, who from like their rival family or whatever, as they try to like take over Shanghai essentially. Um and she's just dope, man. Like she's like not like obviously they're like the book is very emotional and angsty. Surprise, surprise. But um at the same time, like she does not let her emotions really get the best of her. Like she's very much like, no, I will shoot you. Like I'm gonna feel bad about it later. I might regret it. Like I might even cry in the car, but you're not gonna see me cry. I'm gonna still do it. It's probably for the best. And I'm just like she very much is like handling her business.
Sounds like shoot first, have feelings later.
Exactly. But she's also not just like out here just like gun toting. Like she does ask questions. She
Yeah.
does like get to the bottom of the thing before she decides like, okay, no, it's you who has to die, or like you who needs to get like reprimanded or whatever. Yeah, I was just about to say Delia in the chat said the way that she has a crush on both Juliet and Roma. Um and yeah, it's a I mess with Juliet.
Okay. My final is Kara from The Space Between Worlds. It is a sci-fi fantasy book. I don't know how to better explain that. And it's like in a world where there is this machine that allows you to travel through parallel universes, but people who are able to travel are only those who are dead in the other parallel universes. So if you go to a parallel universe and your doppelganger is alive there, you will die. Kara is an unfortunate person who, in a lot of the different parallel universes, she's dead. So she comes from like a low income background and all this stuff. A lot of stuff goes on. So she ends up being like one of these pilots. But one of the twists, and it's kind of a spoiler, but it's not because it happens early on that you find out about it, is that the original Kara is actually dead because she went to a world where she thought that her doppelganger was dead, but her doppelganger actually was alive. And where she actually landed was near the doppelganger as she lay dying, and that doppelganger took her place. And so now the doppelganger is like trying to make sense of her world while also completing the missions that Kara's supposed to do, while also trying to blend in, while also trying to like figure out what's going on in this bigger conspiracy. And the way that she just like bounces through all these different layers, like I'm saying a lot of layers here, I know, but the way that she just like handles all this stuff without any like super panicking or like, you know, using her like whenever it gets like weird, she's like, I got plans. Love it. Like you can't defeat it. She's like not she's not unstoppable, but she like when something bad occurs, she can like take the moment, sit back, pull it together, and then like make a plan of action. And I always enjoy characters who are like that because it is like just I wish I was better at reacting to things in the moment, and she just like handles it so well. And so into our baddie bona fides.
Oh, Delia says, "Is this us? It sounds similar to us, but something I'd be way more willing to engage with." It also makes me think of Orphan Black a little bit.
What is us?
The Jordan Peele.
Oh, no. No, like it's like literal other universes, like whole other universes. So that's hence the sci-fi part.
Yeah, it makes me think of Orphan Black a little, just like instead of clones, it's doppelgangers, and different dimensions. But yeah, okay. So Chiamaka, like I said, she knows she run things, won't let anyone tell her otherwise, even when there's like all this like just wild stuff coming at her. It's never like she doesn't let that like hit her self-esteem, and is very much like, oh, I'm just gonna hit back. So yeah.
Shizuka Satomi is kind-hearted, so very much like if you get on her good side, if she's no use a person, or she's not gonna go out of her way to like shade you or to dismiss you as a person. Like if you pop up on her radar and you're trying to be extra, she's gonna give you like, oh girl, get out of my way. But she's not gonna like literally just be like a crappy person. She's pretty good. But also she's lethal. And so when someone comes for Katrina, the person that she's taken under her wing, they end up dying a little bit later, and that's on you. Like you didn't have to be a transphobe. You just have to die now. And it's all fine. Life is what it is.
It'd be that way. Juliet, like I said, is a shooter, but will ask questions. She's another person who gets the job done. She's like not gonna let all that other stuff get in the way of what she needs to get done. And like I said, I have a theme.
Bayana has a theme, TM. And then Kara, okay, so like the doppelganger situation. And again, because she's thrown into all these things, she's expected to they expect her to know her training, to do whatever. She will make a way out of no way. She will figure out who she needs to talk to, who she can trust to get things going, and maybe she might mistrust a person or two. Hint, hint. But when it all comes together, it actually like it does all like within her character dynamic. It's all really cool, and you get to see like her lifelines across all these different like parallel universes. So she fits in well with every single one of them, which I really don't know how like you can make that happen, and she does it. It's really cool. So for our baddie quote, we pulled from Bayana's.
Oh yes, Chiamaka. She says, "I'm Chiamaka fucking out of bio. I don't need some prick telling me who I am or who I should be."
And especially in a freaking gated, freaking white, freaking private school. Come on.
No. Shan't.
For who? Now we're on to movie baddies.
So this is funny because the ones that I chose, one, it's the last movie I've seen. And then the other one is just like a childhood thing. So I guess first, Xiaoling from Shang-Chi. I'm not gonna like say too much just because like it, not everyone may have seen this movie yet, and it's not like widely available, but she's a badass and I really love her. And it was just really great to kind of like see how one, I'm a sucker for siblings, so it's also like how she interacted with her brother, but then also just like her not really being given opportunity and like making that opportunity for herself. I mean, like, that's fine, I got it, I'll do it myself. So yeah, love her.
So this is probably like, I feel like I know for sure that Amanda has seen it because she is an Anglophile. I'm trying to remember the name because I feel like I'm blanking a little bit because my brain is just all over the place. So anyways, there's a series. Oh, is this Molax? So there is a series by McQueen.
Yeah, I think it's Smollax.
I'm trying to think of his first name. Y'all know his name. John McQueen? Steve McQueen has this anthology movie series, small film series called Smollax, and it has different episodes, but it's movie, so I made it fit this segment. And one of the episodes or / short films in there is one called is the one called Lover's Rock. And that's the one where this character, Marsha Trenton, shows up in, and she is such a good, like like, so the story, the whole series is about like 1970s Windrush generation in Great Britain, and you see different people like in London, and like some of them are based on historical stories. This one I feel like is just like a romance, like it could be true, could not be. It's just a story. And in this one, it's like a woman who's like in her 20s. It's just her on a night going out with her friends, and they go to a house party, and um, they don't know. They only know like someone in tangent there. The birthday girl is shady because she don't know them, so she's like, "Who are them girls? Why do you think they cute?" And so she already automatically has beef with them. Her and her friend that come in, and then tragically. Tragically, because this is just how life is. Tragically, when she and her friend are hanging out at the house party, Adu shows interest in her, and her friend is annoyed because like she was the way the guy's pushing up on her or whatever was not great, and her friend goes and spends time with him. Like Marsha goes and spends time with the dude you see in the picture, and leaves her friend alone on the couch for a second. And her friend is like, "I'm leaving," and so her friend leaves the party, leaving Marsha there alone with this dude she just met at the party. And there's this other guy who's like trying to get like who's like very sexual assaulty, and he's trying to also get onto her when the dude walks away from her. Some sketchy scenes happen, but Marsha sticks up straight. She's very much like he actually she also actually keeps the guy from assaulting another young woman. And it was like very like it was a woman that was being rude to her from the party, like the birthday girl and her friends, right? And it was like I love that they showed that like this is like it doesn't matter what generation it is, these are all the same vibes. Like being Black, going to a house party, being there with friends, the vibes, all of that is all like the same no matter the generation. And she like not only was she just like a baddie in like her vibes and her 70s clothing and her pulling it together, I could look at like pulling the look, like the way that she handled every situation that happens to her over the night was just like the best. Like just bad. It like what would an icon do? She does it the whole night. So I really appreciated seeing this character. And that was one of the more recent movies that I saw and had a like Black woman representing being a baddie.
And then my next one is Galleria Garibaldi from the Cheetah Girls. And then once again, here comes my theme. She is like, so she's the like I would say like leader of the Cheetah Girls, their singing group. And she's like always like the one who's like pushing the rest of the girls. She's very much like, we have this dream, we're gonna go go and get this dream, right? So she's all like in initially, because I've also read the books as a kid, but also like in the movie, like she initially, it's very much has like this like she like kind of like superiority situation where like she's kind of like, yeah, I'm like very diva-ish, and is like, it's me, and I'm doing all this stuff, I'm like walking around with my sunglasses, oh, thanks for like cleaning my shoes or whatever. Like she gets a little too big for herself. But she also like cares deeply about the Cheetah Girls and cares deeply about like her friends, but also just like this dream, and like knows like what she will and won't do for it too, because like a lot of people have goals and like will kind of do anything to achieve them, and she's not that kind of person. So once she like has her head deflated a little bit, she's able to kind of like use the like skills that she has, and it kind of like pushes, makes her and the like group as a whole better, once she's like knocked down a couple notches. So yeah.
I feel like Galleria is just like I don't know. I could not with her. I couldn't.
No, I would not like. She was, especially in that first movie, she was tripping. Like I couldn't, like it was too much. But I also, and again, this could also have to do with me like being, like me reading the books too, is like that was maybe her first storyline in the books, and then that like changed. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Because
so you
like
read the
they're like
books
little
too?
serialization. Yeah, I read the books. So and they were more like they were like babysitter clubs and like the way they were like in the way they came out.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was like her first storyline, and like she got her little head deflated or whatever, and they went to the next thing, and like she's dealing with something else or whatever. So like in my head, she wasn't like that for very long. But
Nicole is
also
making
it
a
was very like
point.
she's still like controlling and like once it's like we gotta practice, we gotta do all this stuff. So
Like, yeah, like your luggage can be left.
right.
I do like Nick's point though, because yeah, Lynn Whitfield is not like, if your mom is Lynn Whitfield in anything that you're in, and you're not a baddie, a disappointment. Right. You're a disappointment. Also, yeah, Black Canary was cool. Yeah, I liked her more in I liked her in Bird of Prey. It was cool. I liked the scenes where you actually show her like in interaction with the other girls. Like whenever like she hands a hair tie to someone else, and I'm like, yes, like this is how a fight would work among friends.
Right.
Be like, oh, do you need a hair tie? Boom, yeah, got you. Boom. Got an axe? Cool. Boom. Like you're just like coming through.
Yeah. Amani said Galadriel, and I almost put Galadriel on here. I was this close.
We try to be BIPOC in here,
and I was
Amani.
I was like, ooh, if she was played by somebody else. But I was so close, and I was like, I guess I'll think about somebody. But yes, Galadriel.
The final person here is Turquoise Jones from Miss Juneteenth, which we watched last year as part of the Juneteenth cinema celebration with Eliana and Sunshine Moxie. And I just remembered her. I recently rewatched it to kind of refresh my brain. She is such a like. It was really good for me because like first of all, I love Southern Black representation anyway. I get it. If it's I say anyway, I get it, but ATL, I don't have the ATL, so I do have standards. But I do enjoy Southern Black representation, and she really came through in this. Like, I could see her in her, like so many women that I know from the South, of being like, you have aspirations for wanting more, but your lot in life is landing you where you are. So you're hoping that you can help others around you be able to achieve. In her case, her daughter. And I love that, like, while she feels like, because one mode, and this is something that I've seen a lot of like older women, like not my mom per se, but like other older women in my family, like, or just in general, deal with this. Like, they know one mode that will guarantee success because they've seen it happen before, so they don't really understand like any new modes. So in her case, her daughter's like, I want to try out for a dance group, they have scholarships, I can get a scholarship to a school from there. And her mom's like, you have to do this pageant because I know you can get this pageant money and get a scholarship to go to a school from there. And they kind of mess up each other by not understanding each other. They mess up the chances of the daughter, being able to like be Miss Juneteenth, but they also come to an understanding about each other by the end of this movie. So I loved how that moved. I loved how Turquoise herself, you see that like as a mom, she's open to learning. After the lesson that gets learned, she's like, oh, I have to learn lessons about my child, just like my child needs to learn lessons about life too. And they kind of like move through it together. So I really appreciated it. I really love this movie. And that's why she was my baddie, because I'm like, she held it down the whole time. And that's why she gets the baddie quote. And baddie pods, that's where we are. I feel like I've basically gone over Martha. Like, she just basically, what stood out to me was that she was true to herself, even to people who were crappy to her, but not because she sought anything out of that interaction, only because it was the right thing to do. And I love people who do the right thing to do, even if especially if it's nothing that like is going to harm them, like, it's like, I'm not gonna act like this is something that's like a big bravery or anything to keep like sexual assault from happening, because I would hate that to happen to anyone I know, someone I liked even, but I'm definitely not gonna let it happen to anyone if I can prevent it happening. I love that for her.
For Xiaoling, I said, like, so she was able to build her own empire after kind of being ignored and like denied by her father. Some people would have just been like, oh, guess I can't do it then. And she was like, no, I got this. So yeah.
Turquoise. The whole time in the movie, she's been fail after fail after fail after fail, letdown after letdown, people disappointing her. And what does she do? She keeps it moving. And if that's not being a Black woman, I don't know what is.
And Galleria is committed to her dreams, but is not gonna sell out, and she's not gonna sell herself short. She's not doing this to make money. She's not gonna go all around the world. She's like, no, I'm doing this the way that I know I should, and like in the way that like doesn't compromise myself or like my morals or my values. And yeah.
So again, Turquoise got the quote, "Nothing wrong with trying to do better." And again, Vivest, strive for perfection. Yay, we gotta get around that trait. So the next one, this is our last round of baddies. So if y'all have other baddies that y'all want to put forth for this live TV baddies, or other areas that we did not cover, please let us know, because I want to hear other topic areas that we consider baddies for. But this is our live TV baddies.
Yes, which is hilarious because I have not watched TV in years. That's not true, but it is. Feels that way. So first, speaking of, is Elektra. So I, full disclosure, have only seen the first season of Pose because I'm behind on all of my television watching that isn't Marvel.
I mean, it's not like Elektra changes from being a baddie after the first.
Like, yeah,
once a baddie, always a baddie.
I'm like, I truly don't doubt her at all. But my main context is just from season 1 because that I'm, like I said, behind on everything. But I just like, I loved her the whole time. Like, I just feel like she very much, like, you know, she, when she feels threatened, can be like petty, can be catty or whatever, but like at the same time is like very much knows who she is and is like, you're not gonna, you know, mess with me. You play with me, you gonna get played. Like the person trying to play me plays themselves. And yeah, so I really mess with Elektra.
Because look, the way my brain was working, I went back into the like archives of TV, like TV baddies, because it was my favorite like witch baddie, Black witch baddie that I've seen in a long time, and that was Angela Bassett as Madame LaRue in American Horror Stories Coven. Mm-hmm. Like the freaking, I forget what the lady's name is in the story. I know her real name is the actress, but I don't want to say, like, anyways, we all know, if you've seen the trailers, you know there's a lady who she is an enslaver, and she kills the people that she enslaves and uses their blood for ceremonies, including Madame LaRue's lover. And that's the right way to get set up to hate the rest of your life. Yeah. And so Madame LaRue does exactly what she needs to do, and she forces the white lady to be immortal. Like, oh, you want it to be like to bathe in the blood of my people in order to be younger. Guess what? You're actually going to just live forever, but never enjoy any of it. So she buries her alive as an immortal under the ground, okay? And that is but one reason why you don't F with Madame LaRue. There's a lot more, but I'm gonna leave there on that one.
And then next is Monica Rambeau. I can't wait to see more of her, honestly. But she just is like in charge and knows what needs to get done. Is like, you know, and a lot of times it's like, I'll just do it. You know what I mean? I'll push myself through this little barrier that Wanda put up, whatever. Like, I got it. Like, yeah, she's great.
And last but not least is my fave for, like, literally, like, this is like this, I think this K-drama, let me double check. Did it come out in 2020? Okay, it did. It came out in 2020, but I keep rewatching it because it's relevant to my life. It is, so I love K-dramas. That's not a secret. This is a K-drama that actually pulls in a good amount of like fantasy-ish, like magical realism, I guess. Like, it's like it plays with your mind a little bit with what's going on. It's not necessarily that magic is happening, but then like it's creepy, spooky enough that you're like, is there magic in this? it's not, right? It's pretty good. And I tend to love the K-drama girls with cute wardrobes, first of all.
Yeah.
I just love them. And she does not disappoint. And she is my fave here, who is Ko Moon-young. And she is like a popular children's illustrator. Supposedly, she has like antisocial personality disorder. It don't matter. She just does not like people being in her business, which is like I can relate. I just whatever. And she's pretty. So she's rich. She's going up rich. So she's kind and she's an only child, so she's kind of spoiled. And she has a bad childhood. Like her parents, there's a lot going on with her parents. It's really messed up. It's one of the more messed up family dynamics in K-dramas I've seen. And so she kind of like has had to live through the world of making it on her own as a rich little girl and now a grown woman who's famous because she's a children's book author and she's pretty famous for that. And like the way that she uses her bratty richness to get things done, like people will write her off like, oh, you're just a bratty rich girl or whatever, and she's like, oh, am I? Okay, cool. And that's why XYZ is done. And then she like she walks into the room and you can't not look at her because she's killing it. Like her wardrobe is killing it, her vibe is killing it. Like
I'm like just looking at this picture right here and I'm like, wow,
she is it.
What a coat.
She writes children's fairy tales and like her wardrobe gives you like fairy tale, like if you fairy tales were real like modern, that's what her wardrobe gives. Like it's just amazing. It's pinnacle. It's peak. I don't know. I just yes, love her. I lost my words. But I'm also loving these in the chat, like Kelly from Insecure, Regine from freaking Living Single. All of them from Living Single. Maxine Shaw. Yes. These are all baddies. Tony Childs, even though like Tony. But yes. So what's next here? Our bonafides, right?
Yep. So yes, so for Electra, she will read you on any and every occasion. You don't really have to give her a reason, but you know, go ahead. Do it if you must.
I don't know why you would want. Every
single read, I've just been sitting there like, ugh.
Do you want low self-esteem? Because you can get it real quick. Just like, say something salty to her. You will have low self-esteem automatically thereafter. If you feel like you're a little bit too high for yourself, talk to Electra. You will be brought down.
Just a couple notches.
If Electra and Galleria were like, if Electra knew Galleria in the first movie, like Galleria would have pulled it.
She would have changed much faster. That's for sure.
She's like, oof. I keep getting red.
She's like, ooh, that was my whole life. Okay. Cool.
Madeline would cross her and you'll be cursed for centuries, literally. That's what else can I say?
Yep. With Monica, she is talented and driven, and now she has powers too. So, you know, we out here just ready for her to wrap all of this together. She needs to be captain of everything.
I'm just ready to see like what they do with her and her beef with Captain Marvel because it's gonna be fun. I know.
Yeah, me too.
Ko Moon-young, she uses her bratty privilege to make the world better for those who help her. And also like, y'all. I mean, the love interest in her are just such a cute couple, and it's so amazing. And it's also it's everything because she's a brat. And he's like, stop being a brat. And she's like, you can't make me. And he's like, okay, well then I'm just gonna talk to you. And she's like, okay, but you can't do that. Like, all right. It's amazing. I just love the dynamic. It's fun. Watch it. If you like K-dramas, I feel like you should probably watch that one. It's a good one. And so our quote. Of course, we have to leave you with a quote from the baddest of the baddies here.
All right. Just because you have an idea does not mean you know how to properly execute it. Ideas are ingredients. Only a real mother knows how to prepare them.
I feel like I'm almost getting red in this, to be honest. So she does not play. I love Electra.
Yes. Tight. So that was it.
Are there any baddies from fictional baddies that y'all want to shout out that are? I've seen a lot of TV baddies right now. Are there any other? Are there any baddies that we didn't think about, like in a genre or segment?
I was like, maybe not fiction, but I don't listen to podcasts like that. So, or like fictional podcasts, I guess.
Yeah, I'm like, what is another fictional category? Because I'm like, it's hard. Because we were talking when we were conceptualizing this. We were thinking through like, oh, do we want to pull from like real life stuff too? Because I was like Nicole Byer, I really enjoy her from Nailed It. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, she's real. That's real life. I don't need to do that. Yeah. And then we start going down a rabbit hole. Because I'm like, of course, Beyonce. Because of course. But you can't do that. We have to. Yeah. Misty Knight, yes. Selena Kyle. Yes. I am enjoying Zoe Kravitz. Selena Kyle's already looking amazing.
Oh, I didn't watch the trailer. I just saw the pictures. The pictures.
I saw a picture. Exactly.
Yeah. I just didn't get a chance to watch the trailer, honestly.
I haven't either.
Yeah, but the pictures definitely. I was like, okay, all right.
I'm like, first of all, Zoe's a Sag, so I'm already like Team Zoe. It's so sad because there are Sages that are I don't talk about. And I'm like, please stop. But Zoe, she's usually cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks, y'all. I feel like that's it. Thank you for watching with us. You can find Things We Imagine on the For All Nerds YouTube channel, and we have like 5 or so episodes, and then we have a new one coming soon, so stay tuned for that. That'll be fun. We're gonna put ourselves and you to work.
You will see, like, we are all about talking about creators. Now we have to walk the walk and show you what it's like whenever we're creating, which is our own little fun activity there.
Yep.
No stress at all. Low stress.
But yeah, thanks for joining. Remember, these panels are recorded, so if you missed something or you want to come back in the future, you can find this panel and all other panels on the BGC YouTube channel. Our next panel, So You Want to Start a Podcast, will happen in about a little over 15 minutes. I think we are done a little early, which should give you time to, have a bio break. I know I need to eat personally, chat with folks in Discord, and check out our virtual artist alley. You can go to blackgirlscreate.org/program/Kuumba-Kickback. And then you can find all of those things. Oh, yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye.